It's a massive house, which just goes to show how important this family was in the area. It seems that not many of the exhibits have changed since communism, but I quite like that. And there's not much English, in fact, no English. It's all in Albanian. But all that will probably change in the next few years, as the road that we came in is going to be updated and have a tarmac surface, bringing a lot more tourists to the area. There may be no explanation to this painting, but I presume it's of a meeting that was held here in this village of Abdul Frashëri, introducing the ideas of the League of Prizren, which was the codifying and the formalization of the national awakening that was a meeting in Prizren in present-day Kosovo. I presume it's here and not the League of Prizren because these men are wearing the fustanella, the traditional dress of the southern Albanians. So once again, I stand in front of these three great men. Naim Frashëri is considered the national poet of Albania. His writings of unity, freedom, and most of all tolerance are regarded highly amongst the Albanians. He's an unusual man, as he's one of the few writers in history who both understood the East and the West, ideas, belief, literature, and he merged that into his work. He was a bridge between the East and the West. Sami Frashëri wrote a book at the turn of the century, 1800s to the 1900s, called Albania, What It Was, What It Is, and What It Can Become. And this was the manifesto of the national awakening of the Albanians. And last, but certainly not least, is the eldest brother, Abdul. Abdul, he was a great statesman, a man with powerful words that could rally the people, not with hatred or violence, but with love, passion, and tolerance. But Abdul, with his three brothers and their compatriots, with their mix of Albanians, different religions, were able to unite and achieve what seemed to be impossible, national independence in 1912. The teqe at Frashëri was built in the early half of the 1800s. And although it's very isolated, it was a rich teqe with many dervishes living here. It was destroyed during the Balkan Wars by Greek forces, but it did manage to avoid destruction from the communists in 1967. Who obliterated many teqes across southern Albania. And the reason why it avoided that destruction was because of its attachment to the Frashëri brothers. Even the communists made this a national monument. Abdul and his two brothers were schooled here at this teqe by Bektashi Babas, and their lessons reverberated in their writings of peace and interfaith relationships. It was these words and actions that transcended religious differences and established a common Albanian identity.